the arm over a little bit, so...
Ground ball to short, and Bastion in time to second base. Burridge tries and slides into two, but not in time. Fielder's choice for Trzynski. Runner still remains at one, but there's one out.
Yes, good choice there by Abby. Nice and close little throw into Megan, who was at the base, at the ready. She could have probably got over to first to get the out for Steph if she had to, but took the lead runner and creates the first out with the runner on first.
Low for a ball. This is Alicia Marching.
Her first time at bat, she was very, very patient and saw herself up to first with a walk. Got herself home off the bat of Brodie Borovnik.
Hills one win so far for the season. It came against Seacombe Tigers in a 10-2 victory way back in round 3. Nice piece from Marching out to the right side, but good catch taken, and the second out. Pete, just on those changes, we saw a Mohan Ram go to centre and Marich out to right, is that right?
No, my understanding is Mohan Ram went out to left, but I'm about to find out.
Sophie Hoyle, the batter in the box.
So we just saw movement around the outfield. So Aaliyah Jackson slid over to left field. We had Claire Mohan Ram move to centre. And Zoe Marich moved out to right field. So that was Zoe Marich's catch just a moment ago.
Yep. Oates Willis to first and Daniels to pitching.
Yeah. So we've moved around a lot, the Hills team tonight, but a young team, get them experience everywhere.
Hoyle reaching and fouling this one off.
I suppose the bonus is they're young, they've got some experience in the outfield, and they're playing a team that is likely to hit the ball to you in the outfield, so you're going to get a look at all different angles. So
gets underneath it. It's in a bit of a gap. The Bermuda Triangle. Trzynski's on her bike. Hoyle tries to evade the tag. She's called safe at 2. And Trzynski then crosses the plate to score a run with Torrens out to a 5-1 lead. Let's have a look at the C-Max replay. Just off the tip of the glove.
Yeah, huge effort there from Abby. She had everything going at that. It's clipped the tip of the glove. I don't think they're going to, hope they're not going to call that an error because it was a huge effort and wasn't stock standard.
Green pen from Mother Dearest to our left.
Yeah, and just wondering what they're going to call the attempt tag, though. I wonder whether that's going to go as potentially a potential error or whether they're just going to go good base running by Hoyle.
Well, with the runner coming home, I'd suggest it's a single, and nice effort from Bastion.
Very much. Great effort by one of the young stars in the States program.
Borovnik with her second hit of the night, drives it up the middle. Hoyle is held at 2, and a great throw from Mohan Ram as well. McGee identified that she had the ball pretty quickly because that ball was laced out the centre.
Yeah, good hit again there. This is just what this West Torrens lineup do. They all hit, they all go well. Good throw in though from Mohan Ram. Good to see the pitcher Peyton Daniels getting out the way and letting that ball come through off the call from King.
There's Hoyle on the C-Max replay being held up at 3.
Seacombe currently in the 7th, 4-1, bottom. So we'll have the final part of that for you very shortly, but that is an upset as far as Glenelg's really big win in the mental health round against the Sturt Falcons on Saturday.
Yeah, that was a surprise, wasn't it? The great shot from Harris, a huge line drive out, and one bounce into the centre left alley. She's rounding 2 to stand up at 3. 2 runs will score, Hoyle and Borovnik. Another 2 RBIs for Harris, make it 4 for the night for her 3rd hit.
Cracking hit that. I thought she might have gone home. She had the speed rounding second. The ball was only getting picked up. A great piece of work out there again by Claire Mohan-Ram to get that throw in, to get the runner held up at 3rd. I thought she was going. You see here, had to make a lot of ground up out to the fence. She gets it, she throws into Megan Williams, who's made her way out from 2nd. Managed to hold Jordan at 3rd. But that's 3 at-bats for 3 hits, a single, a double and a triple.
CMAX Player of the Night candidate Jordan Harris was 2nd in the Eagles lineup for RBIs, behind Danny Backside, who'd been batting higher in the league, higher in the team, and tonight's efforts by Jordan has seen her overtake and become the team's lead-off and leading RBI.
Yeah, she's always been able to bring those runners in, hasn't she, over the years? And sometimes you see the lead-offs with low RBI counts. I think Jess Golden's one of those players, although super dangerous batter, speedy around the bases, doesn't bring in that many runners. But, yeah, not all lead-offs are known or renowned for the RBIs, but Harris tonight, back to her best.
And we see here now Zoe Marich called in from out in the outfield, right field. She started at centre, moved to right. Now she's coming into pitch. I'm thinking Peyton's going to probably slide back to first. And I'd imagine Mia Oates-Willis is probably making her way out into the outfield.
Yeah, Zoe Marich has shouldered the load of the pitching duties for the Hills Heat so far this year. And there was a pitching change when Harris came up last time to bat, so the idea of pitching by committee very much in the mind of Coach Fairley tonight as Mohan-Ram through to 9, then Peyton Daniels through to 10 batters, and here's their 3rd pitcher in the night in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
We've just had some technical difficulties where the stream's been stopped and had to be restarted. So
okay,
yeah,
thank you for that.
That's but all sorted. So Mr. Magic has done what he does best.
Seven to 1 lead to West Torrens. If you've missed anything, maybe a quick recap. We saw a scoreless first inning. Both teams defended very well. West Torrens came out with a Hills fought back in the 3rd inning with 3 consecutive walks to start the inning, and a sacrifice fly to Megan Williams to bring in the first run of the game for the Hills Heat. Bottom of the 3rd has seen 4 hits to West Torrens and 3 runs across the plate, and that is your update of the game to this point. Amber Hood now. Change up comes in high.
Interesting also, 10 hits for the night so far. Only the 1 strikeout and a 4 walks so far. So the bats are doing it at the moment in these teams.
Called strike, and Harris on 3. You think she could have made it?
Yeah, I would have sent her. I'm sure there's an extra half a kilometre an hour in those legs when you're looking at a home run.
Hood goes opposite field. Oates-Willis gets under it, and Amber Hood will turn 2, looking for 3. It'll be back-to-back triples for West Torrens, and RBI as well for Amber Hood. And West Torrens continue on their merry way. They're finding the gaps, they're beating the field, and really taking it to Hills Heat tonight.
Yeah, and some bad news for the Hills here, because Lana Kaiser's had 2 at-bats for 2 hits out to centre field and brought a run in herself so far, so it doesn't get easy. We do see a courtesy runner rolling up to first, up 3rd, sorry. It looks like it's going to be Caitlin Holt on this occasion.
Kaiser back up to bat. Commentated her first game of the season on Saturday with our old mate Eric Bolno returning from Japan, and yes, didn't they miss a beat?
When you put the call out, I knew we had to get those 2 back together, and Sound like they had a lot of fun in a good game.
Oh, yeah, I listened to the bit where Lana accused Eric of being in her head, reading what she was thinking. Always good value, those two.
So we've got a final score. It is the Tigers running out winners over the Rebels 4-1.
Wow, that's a huge win for the Tigers, and it just shows the development of that team from this time last year, and they will now be tied on points with West Torrens on 9. Obviously, this game looks like it's getting away from Hills Heat, but really staying in contention of the top 4 as Kaiser takes one low in the count. Their runs against will come back and haunt them. It's 30 difference between the next closest team in the top 4, so that's as good as a game. So they're going to need to win at least one more game than any of the other in the top 4.
The other thing to remember too between West Torrens and Seacombe in that battle for that 4th spot is that West Torrens still have 3 more games to make up beyond that as well. So whilst they might look close right now, you would assume that that maybe that might open. Seacombe have just got to keep winning, as do a resurgent Walkerville. They need to just keep winning. They're starting to turn the corner as well. So it's for the Linda Martin Shield in its first season. It's getting exciting.
Did you say Seacombe were a game behind Glenelg, though, in terms of played games?
Yeah, Glenelg have now played 14 and Seacombe have played 13. So Glenelg just 10 games to go, but they are, 3 games clear of Seacombe. Base on balls for Kaysler. Runners now at the corners. Did you say who pitched that game for Seacombe tonight?
No, I didn't. My roving reporter didn't give me that much information, so I didn't see Jade going down there tonight. I saw Bron Sawyer go down, and obviously we know that Yo wouldn't have been here tonight, so...
I reckon I saw Jade here earlier, but I don't know if she was down
okay,
pitching
well,
there.
It's a big win regardless, so...
Just looking ahead, should the rain hold off, Seacombe. Well, Basguy just has a little check on that one, but swings through for a strike. So she's behind the count early. This Saturday's games, Walkerville take on Sturt Hills, play Port Adelaide. And
guess what?
With big,
Glenelg West Torrens,
massive double header between West Torrens and Glenelg with Seacombe with the bye.
Yeah, and obviously with a rain-affected game, we traditionally, by our laws, move to Tuesday, but it's the start of the National Under-23, so there's some complications to come. We're still working that out at the moment, so hopefully the rain stays away. Danny Backside got a chance to get her RBI title back off of Jordan here. Runners at 1 and 3.
With 2 out, so runners will be going off the crack of the bat. And
Whoa.
she drives this one into the corner, so Kaiser's a chance here to score as Holt scores. Kaiser turns 3, will score. Basguy will turn for 3. That's the 3rd triple of the inning for West Torrens. Called it there, Anthony.
Well, I mean, I think we've all sort of, West Torrens are a good defensive team. They've always been a great defensive team, but Dane's just leapt back on that, put it in the perfect spot up the line. There's not much that left field can do in that particular situation, but they've done their relay as good as they can, but when you're hitting the ball that hard, that long.
10-1 now in favour of West Torrens here in the bottom of the 3rd. We were just singing the praises of the Hills Heat before, how they've lost 8 games, but 5 of them have been by either 1 or 2 runs. So they've been in the majority of their games. Their biggest defeat came at the hands of West Torrens. That was a massive 18-2 scoreline. It looks like it could blow out to something similar tonight.
Yeah, I mean, in the Hills defence on that particular day, Bastion was away. young Marek had to go the distance effectively by herself. With there was no other pitches available that they had because Mohan Ram was injured as well. So they did it tough that day. West Torrens were also coming off of their first loss, and they had no Wednesday game, so they had the week to think about it. And West Torrens is just one of those teams coming off of a loss. They tend to bounce back pretty hard, and they, unfortunately for the Hills, took it out on them that day. So
yeah, West Torrens loss, win-win, loss, win-win, and then loss, draw, loss for their last 3 games. The draw was a rain-out.
Anthony, you're 100% there. They, the way they played that game that time when Hills were fairly depleted. Unfortunately, though, at the same time, West Torrens really, as I think we mentioned earlier, they haven't really got out of second gear, it appears, just yet. They've played a few games down. They're still catching up a bit on the competition in the way of the schedule, but they're now starting to really get their motors going. They're getting the bat on ball, and they're starting to do it. We know they can.
Well, the funny thing about the Eagles, too, is when you look at them at the moment, if you look down their list from the team that took the field in the grand final win over Port Adelaide, which obviously had broken a long run of hardship that they had, sort of gone through 4 or 5 finals there and not been able to go over the line. But, Kelsey Nucky's retired, Carly Allen's not in this team. So there's some new faces that have come back into the team that have played previously, and they've obviously starting to blend it with some youth as well. So, and they've got the perfect coaching staff to get the best out of that with Lamoureux, McGee and Thomas. So the Eagles will be a massive danger in the second half of the season. But the thing to also take into context, 3 years ago, Glenelg weren't in the A grade. They came back that first year, struggled really bad. Second year, improved a little bit. This year, they're sitting third. Seacombe were out for a year. Last year, struggled. This year, on the edge of the 4. So the Hills are sort of, at the moment, it's a massive rebuild.
Jasinski grounds to shortstop, and a good play from Abby Bastian for the third out of the inning. It took 10 batters, 11 batters to do it, though. And a big inning for West Torrens. They put a 6th spot on the board.
Yeah, good at-bat there from West Torrens, doing, as we said, what we know they can do. They've worked through a few pitches now for the Hills. They're starting to see the ball well, and with perfect conditions tonight, they are really starting to hit their straps, which is probably what some of the other teams in the comp want to see, is West Torrens starting to put bat on ball and get some 2 and 3 base hits, because that's what we know they can do. And we also know that they really haven't been 100% when it comes to their defensive lineup just yet. So I'm sure the back end of the season is going to look pretty good for them.
Yeah, and premiership defence, Porter at the moment out in front. Glenelg have got arguably 2 of the best pitchers in the league, and a revamped offence that's doing great things. Sturt, which means they're going to be competitive and knocking on the door. So, for the CMAX Premier League this season, it's really exciting. But if you're a Hills fan or you're involved with that, I mean, sometimes when you blood a lot of young players simultaneously, I mean, obviously it's going to be tough, but, also they're going to get 20, 30, 50 games under their belt, and then all of a sudden as they start coming over, 16, 17, 18 years of age, they're going to become very, very dangerous, especially when you've got somebody of the coaching calibre of Amanda Fairley at the helm.
Oates Willis will lead things off in the top of the 4th. West Torrens are commanding 10-1 lead. And if West Torrens get out of this inning cleanly, they'll need 1 run to walk it off. But don't underestimate this Hills side. Oates Willis bats 4, then they've got some power behind her in Daniels and Mackie. Ryder didn't take any time to settle in. She saw 3 batters. She retired 3 for a strikeout and 2 outfield fly balls.
So,
swing and a miss there for Oates Willis as
we might just
Ryder gets ahead of the count.
We might just get a quick recap from the coach from the Tigers.
Just a changeover of the headset as Oates Willis just behind in the count here, 1 and 2. Fouls this one off to the right side. Joining us is the Gilly Shield Championship winning coach from 2022, Bill Benedictson. Bill, great win for the Tigers.
Yeah, hi everybody. Nice to be here. It was a 4-1 victory, but really I'm just here to give the weather report tonight. But no.
So those watching in Maple Ridge?
For those watching in Maple Ridge.
It's not Maple Ridge weather.
No, very cold. This is an interesting game for us. We were watching this one closely because obviously the Hills are just behind us and West Torrens is just in front of us. And we really didn't know how we go with Glenelg tonight, but the girls hit really well. We had a fine pitching performance from Arahar, Monroe, and Reagan Diaz was everywhere tonight in the infield.
Ryder fires that one in for another foul ball, 2-2 the count. So some highlights then of the game, Bill. Was it a complete game from the team, or was there one big inning?
It was a complete game. Look, leadoff triple from Diaz, but we didn't capitalize and score. Next time up, leadoff triple again. This time we got her home. Fine defensive plays everywhere.
This one also goes to the right side. And this guy just can't hold on to it. She lays out for a catch in foul territory. And, well, if those with a long memory might remember that Basco actually hurt herself a couple of years ago going for a catch like that at left field, Bill. You're pointing.
I do remember that, yeah, in the gap out there at left field, correct? She might have been playing center and went into the left center gap.
Missed a couple of games after that.
Yes.
So we hope she's okay. Mia Oates-Willis has another life. Inside for a ball. Here's another look on the C-Max replay. She had a hold of it until that glove hit the ground and just spilled out. So just unlucky.
Sat up in the palm of the hand. Didn't quite get it down in the glove, and then the bounce onto the ground's all that's done it, I think.
Yeah.
Huge effort.
Yeah, it's good leaving her feet for that diving catch, and just a little too far and up the palm. You're right.
Jess and her team at Rival Brothers Roasters will be here. Not Jess, Danny and her team at Rival Brothers Roasters will be here during the under-23 tournament for your coffee.
Yes, yeah, they were here during the last thing we
Masters
just
games.
Masters
well,
games, correct.
Oates-Willis with a base on balls. A well fought out at that, wasn't it? Because she was behind in the count. She fouled a couple off and survived a chance.
It was about an 8-pitch bat, that one, which was good. She put a couple down that right side. She was very patient. She was nervous waiting for that last call, though, but got the call of ball, and off she went. So gets on base, and this is where they need to start a revolt.
Peyton Daniels, a return to the Hills lineup tonight, Bill.
I was just noticing that. I see her up there, and I thought, wait, we haven't seen Peyton yet this year.
Started at first, pitched the second inning, and moved back over to first base.
Very still night tonight. The wind was blowing earlier, but it's kind of calmed down and quite warm, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm in the hoodie, but it was
ball.
just a last-minute decision to bring it.
Probably
it's going to be hot tomorrow, right? 30 tomorrow, I reckon.
Yeah, that's right. Beach weather.
I reckon there was actually a breeze here when we first got here earlier tonight, and that's gone. It's become very still since then, but earlier tonight, there was a breeze blowing around, which had a little bit of coolness to it, but it's become very still now, so...
Daniels looks set, doesn't she? She looks menacing that she could smash one at any moment. Bill, who did the Tigers come up against tonight pitching for Glenelg?
Jade was pitching tonight and was looking very dangerous early. Had some of our early batters perplexed. Some called strikeouts. But we refocused our game plan and they started to put serious bat on ball. Some really hard hits. Emily Erickson got her first hit for us, and Rosa Vigara was pinch hit a bat, got herself a hard hit ball down the third baseline, which was good to see.
Swing and a miss. So Ryder fights back and replies after a walk with a strikeout for the first out. Bill, Glenelg, no easy opponent. Of their last three starts, 3 of the last 4 starts, they've beaten West Torrens 8-7, dropped the game 5-4 to Sturt, and beaten Sturt 4-2, only dropping to Port Adelaide 7-0.
That last game against Sturt was in my mind because they came from behind to win that one after looking like Sturt had that wrapped up. We were up 4-1 going into that last inning, and I was hoping we would just keep the calm and make all the plays, and Earhart pitched really well and forced the batters to swing. So it was good. The 9 batter was the last one up, and we didn't want to get back through to the top of the order because they still had Sidney Horton, Bevan still in the lineup, but they were missing a few. Cochran wasn't there tonight. Obviously, no Yo Grauer down. And I want to say Courtney Shepherd away.
Yeah, Sophie Kinnear overseas.
Sophie Kinnear. One's away, one's COVID, I heard. But I'm not
either
sure.
way, Bill, a great win from the Seacombe Tigers tonight. You must be really pleased with their efforts this year. Was it 1 win last year? Now 4 wins in the first half of the season this year.
I wish the camera could show the smile on my face there, James. But yes, definitely have exceeded our initial goals. And I think the team just gets more and more confident as they go.
Wins like that tonight, though, as we were saying, Glenelg been in and around the mark against some good teams. So wins like that goes a long way to confidence running into the Christmas break. I was going to say Easter break, then the Christmas
break, yeah. Absolutely. Look, they've been the team. Like I say, they just keep battling back, Glenelg. So I was never really confident, until we had that third out and he called time in game. So, but yeah, the girls played really well. I think there may have been one error for the game.
Mackie grounds this to short. Kaiser has to come and charge it, fires it across to first for the second out. Oates Willis moves across to second base.
Alex McKay, Mackie back in the lineup.
Yep. Yeah, she'll be an assistant coach for the under-23s next week, and played a game last week as well and came back and did well. She got an invite to stay. So good to see that this Hills team got some experience in the lineup with Williams, Mackie, and now Peyton Daniels. Really good for the young players to have those sorts of experienced players with some coaching experience as well behind them.
And James, just a little inside stat that most people here in softball probably don't know about Bill. Coached the Open team a couple of years ago to a premiership. He's down there working with Seacombe doing the magic this year. On the box here as well. But Monday night was in a little scoring lesson. Level 1 scoring.
Right.
Spotted in there. And a man of many talents. Have you ever thought of level 1 umpiring, level 2 umpiring, anything at all like that?
Look, I'm always looking to add a skill.
String to the bow.
Or a string to the bow, that's right, It's one of those things where, look, I like being right a lot, and I want to make sure I'm all up on all the rules and all the scoring maneuvers and things like that.
I just like the way that when I was mentioning that, you were looking at me going, where is he going with this?
Where is he going? Hey, look, I've actually taken on the Seacombe B grade scorer role. Again, it's a very family community club, and everybody backs everybody up there at Seacombe, and I just thought I can do whatever I can do to help out. Scoring was one of them.
Well, Bill, score that one for us, mate. That's a KC for
a
those
KC,
scoring
that's
at
right.
home. Claire Mohanram watches that one on the outside for the third out.
Yes, we confused him.
Wasn't looking. That's like the one a few weeks ago when you got me distracted. I was looking for player of the game, and Georgia King drew a walk, and I called her out with a strike 3.
Right,
She's on base, Bill.
Right.
you haven't done umpiring, you said.
No, I haven't done umpiring, no.
Right on cue, Bill.
Yes.
We're about 7 minutes away for no new innings, but 1 run away here, West Torrens, from stopping any further play in the game for the 4th inning run rule. So seeing as that Anthony's run off on us, Pete, we're going to have to decide the player of the game ourselves.
He's manning the control board over there. Add the talent. Who was here a few weeks back and said he was on the camera in Victoria? And
Yep. So David's doing remote. What does he call it? Remote producing from interstate tonight. So it's he's making the magic work from a 7-hour drive away.
Wow.
I thought Anthony's putting in a audition over there to take over Brandon. He's just telling us how he, prior to the game, was predicting that Seacombe was going to win down there tonight. He predicted what he called an upset, pumping his chest, just reminding everyone who he is over there. That's why we've taken the mic away from him.
I'll have to go back and watch the replay later tonight just to get that screen grab and make it my new ringtone, maybe. I don't know.
Here's Alicia marching to lead off for West Torrens in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 run for an early finish.
And a change in the defensive lineup here for the Hills. And it is Peyton Daniels slid out to right field and Mia Oates-Willis come into first base.
Marchek goes to the right side. Williams low on the ball and across to Oates-Willis for the first out of the game. Should Hills get out of this inning cheaply, it will be a 5th inning, but it will be the final inning with time restriction.
Recap for me, what have I missed here? Obviously, a lot of runs for West Torrens. Has it been mainly batting?
Yeah, some good batting from Jordan Harris at the top, a single, double and a triple out to right field, a couple of them, all of them out to right field actually. Amber Hood, she's had a triple out to right field. We've had Danny Baskai, had a really hard hit triple out to left field. Lana Kaisler's had a couple of strong hits up the guts to centre field and a walk from her 3 at bats. You've seen Emma Burridge has had a single to centre, a single to right and a walk, so there's been plenty of hits. And then down the bottom, Sophie Hoyle with a double to centre.
Well, Williams gets across and takes one, a bouncing ball up the middle, backhand and firing across to Oates-Willis for the second out. So 2 ground balls to second base to start off the 4th inning. Brody Borovnik has also put in a great performance today, 2 singles and an RBI as well. So we will not write the script for Jordan Harris, who's hitting for a cycle tonight. Just needs the tough one, though. Needs the dinger to
through with
to get it. But here is Brody Borovnik, the 9-hitter in the DP spot tonight.
Meg Williams had a couple nice plays there. That last one, far from routine, far to her right. Nice backhanded play.
And she's had a couple over there tonight to her backhand. One earlier where she was just able to slide over to second to get the lead runner out instead. So she's had a couple of plays there at second base tonight. She's done well. Yeah, there's just been plenty of hitting. I think we're up to 11 hits, I think I've counted in total for West Torrens tonight, and those hits have been doubles and triples, most of them. So when you're doing that, you're going to be scoring well.
Yep, win a lot of ball games doing that.
I've got 12 hits and 5 of them as extra bases.
Yeah.
Four of them as extra bases. Depends on if you call Hoyles a double. Here's Borovnik behind the count, 1 and 2. High for a ball, so good for him, Borovnik. They're hard to lay off, those ones.
Yeah, and when you've been batting well, you're probably tempted to throw the bat at it.
Brody's really matured, I think, with the bat. She used to be a bit of a free swinger and never really knew what you're going to get, but I think she's really become more patient.
Just gets under this one, and little Oates-Willis moves back to take a catch. A 3 up, 3 down inning, so the Hills Heat will take it to a 5th and final as we've got about 7 minutes of game time to go. Here's the C-Max replay of Oates-Willis taking the catch, and if you want to help advance tomorrow's healthcare and get paid for your time, log on to cmax.com.au.
And Oates-Willis, of course, getting shuffled in from right field there for that innings, and all 3 plays involved her. So good coaching moves by Reggie there.
Yeah, very adaptable.
Not saying Peyton couldn't do it, but it counts when it looks good.
It does. Geez, having Peyton back in the lineup is a big plus for the Hills. I got to say, she's got a really strong bat.
Yeah, my understanding is she's playing, I think James said Strathalbyn. She's changed clubs. Hahndorf to Strathalbyn, playing under Dan Peterson up there in the Hills League, I believe.
And Jared Farrell's his assistant coach.
Oh, wow.
Just a little bit of usefulness
not a
there.
Not a bad coaching lineup.
Throwing a little bit of BP to the girls. And, well, actually, I ran into Jared tonight and actually said, he asked who we were playing. And I said your former training team, where he was pitching to Glenelg last year pretty extensively in the cage, and look, it's paid off. They all swing the bat really well, Glenelg, and they're always a worry when they're digging in there.
James, open men this year. Jared Farrell will be here throwing thunderbolts down at West Beach, and you're obviously in the team.
Yeah, second week in March.
Prepared to work with Alex Hopton and sliding behind the home plate there to Jared at all, are you? Or
Yeah, my catching days are behind me, I reckon.
Is there a person sitting next to you who might have some coaching
Well,
credentials?
Bill's our assistant coach, so I
Sell yourself to him, James.
look, mate.
We've got some couching options. James, we've moved to another location.
Look, if you want to see my resume, Bill, I can get it out for you. It'll be a week's worth of reading, but this is Leah Jackson up to bat for the Hills Heat, and she will go down swinging in her Premier League debut tonight. She's had a pretty good night out, a walk and a strikeout against the premiers from last year. This is Zoe Marich up to bat. She's also had a base on balls tonight.
Yeah, so this is the first time around, Claire Mohan-Ram, Alia Jackson and Zoe Marich all got walked and got up to loaded bases, and unfortunately for the Hills, they were only able to bring one of them home. So when they had none out with loaded bases, that was the time they really needed to pounce. At that stage, West Torrens just had the 4-zip lead, so they were going to try to pull them back, but unfortunately they couldn't do so. And then, of course, the next innings, West Torrens come out and put 6 on the board. Kind of hurts.
It does kind of hurt. Yep. I mean, I had to coin a phrase from Coach Fairley down there. I caught her broadcast the other night, their insights, but she said that's a bit of a coach killer.
Yeah.
I think she was probably feeling the same.
Oh, yeah, I heard Reggie a while ago here on one of their games that was being live streamed. She walked out to the right field fence and said to her, from the first base bench, and yelled out to her right fielder, "Spacequake's on, make it to the highlight reel." Because the right fielder just eased up on a ball, and she was basically selling the fact that she's on live stream. You need to go at everything. So there's a little bit of motivation for anyone on the diamond.
Yeah, using the live stream as motivation. Interesting.
Marich fouled the last one off inside for a ball. So ahead of the count here, the youngster will turn it back over to the top of the order. Abby Bastian waiting in the on-deck circle.
Could get something going here if Marich gets on.
Foul tip taken from Hood for 2 strikes.
I think it was Bastian recently at the 18s World Cup qualifying that had a nice little session over there. A few good games with the bat. So obviously Amanda Reggie Fairley is her coach at that time as well. So
real promising young Australian representative. Base on balls, great at bat, a very mature at bat as well from Marich with 1 out, with the game seemingly slipping away or out of reach for the Hills Heat. The number 9 hitter gets her 2nd walk of the game.
Yeah, only the 4th walk of the game for the Hills, and 2 of them to Zoe. So good from your number 9 to get himself on the base however they can.
First pitch swinging, Kaiser will turn it over to 2, and Harris attempts the double play, and Bastian able to beat it out. So a fielder's choice for Bastian. A nice play at shortstop from Kaiser. Here's the C-Max replay.
Yeah, nasty little kick there from Lana, but protected the head well, got the ball nicely, threw it over beautifully. And Jordan just a little bit obstructed there by the runner coming in, just prevented that throw being able to make it.
Really quick hands on both Lana and Jordan on that play. In and out of the glove on both of them, and really, for a fast runner down the line, they made it closer than it should be.
Especially given the way the bounce went for Lana. She's just coming back from a nasty whack, and she's got a ball that's coming at her head like a rocket. Defended it nicely and made the play well.
I really like how Lana's sort of developed as a shortstop from last season, the year before, possibly the last couple of years.
Such a confident player, pretty well nearly put her in most positions out there, and I think she'll give it a fair crack. So really reliable, honest worker on the field for you, as most of this West Torrens team are, and that's why they're so good defensively. They're just so well tight-knit and
it was a
bit of
an adjustment when she went from 3rd. She's used to just sort of hanging in there and reacting and stuff, but her footwork has improved, and I think she's making some really good plays out there. Looks confident.
Ground ball to Kaiser. She gets another play, fires it across to Burridge for the 3rd out, and that will do it. We've run out of time. We've got the run rule, and it's a 10-1 win for the West Torrens Eagles. Are you looking to move off? We've got to wrap up the game.
Oh, I'd love to watch a wrap up. That'll save me putting it on later on tonight and staying up later past my bedtime. So,
Well, the graphic has got Sturt Falcons as the winner 10-1, but it was West Torrens. The Eagles, not the Falcons. 10-1 winners over the Hills Heat. Thank you very much to Anthony and Pete and to Bill for joining us. But it was the Eagles dominant tonight.
Yeah, really dominant performance there. We thought it would be the case with a bit of a junior, young, up-and-coming Hills team. The West Torrens finally got the bat on ball, made it count. Jordan Harris, for me, player of the match, a single, double, triple. She had plenty of plays in there as well, and I think she is going to be our player of the match today.
You're getting the nod from my right, Anthony, giving the approval there. 4 RBIs, 3 hits, a single, a double, and a triple for the West Torrens lead-off. But well played by the entire team. You got multiple hit games from Kayser, Burridge, and Borovnik as well. And great relief as well. Good start to the game from Sutton and a great relief from Ryder.
I was just going to ask that. So Sutton started and they went to Ryder.
Yeah.
Very good.
Plenty of different pitches seen tonight, but the batters were the dominant ones.
We are going to take a little bit of a break. There's no broadcast this Saturday, even with or without the weather. The Spacequake team have got a lot on this weekend. We take a break throughout the Under-23 Women's National Championship, and we will return right before Christmas on December 20th. So we'll catch you in a couple of weeks' time.
I'll be here.
Tonight, it was West Torrens 10 over the Hills Heat 1. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.